We're talking about personal growth. Now, let's see. What happens is that people set the idea of that they're here and they need to go there. And then they look to see, but look how far it is. And then they start going, well, there's no point to even starting. Or sometimes people start on their journey and they've only done this much. And then they think, but there's that much still to go. So, like, there's no point. Let's just stop. We're going nowhere. Okay. It's a bit like, when you grow carrots, assuming you've ever grown carrots. I've never grown carrots, but it's seeing as well that for so long you don't see anything of the carrot. You don't know what's growing underneath the soil. And so as well, when you're trying to improve, when you're trying to get better, when you're trying to grow, you often don't see the results immediately. They're so little. But little, remember, 1 degree change every month, every year, certainly makes a huge difference. So, what we advise, and certainly from a coaching approach, is to see, yes, here's my starting point, here's my ending point. But we can't just go zoom as one big giant jump. Okay. I've always say as well that you can't climb Everest in one jump. Choop. Okay. A lot of people also find, okay, I have this Everest goal, whatever it is. I want to own a business. I want to be this. I want to do that. And like, just drop me off in a helicopter. Just drop me off and let me just get to the top of Everest that way. So now we all know that you cannot be dropped on top of Everest in a helicopter because you need time to adjust. You need time. And that's also, when you think of it, it's almost like your comfort zone has got to expand and it's got to keep on expanding and it's got to keep on expanding. And the only way to expand your comfort zone is to go out of your comfort zone through that zone of fear that we heard about last time to get to your learning and growth. And then zip, your comfort zone gets bigger. So, in your goal of Everest or whatever your Everest goal is, it's also saying, okay, how do I grow? How does my comfort zone expand? So, with each week, month, year, you start to think, okay, gee, I would never have done that in January, but look what I'm doing in June. I would never have done that in June, but look what I'm doing in December. And so it's slowly, slowly, slowly. So what helps is to see, yes, you need a big goal. Remember, a goal that you can just reach and not be scared about is not really a big enough goal. It's not enough big enough growth. So yes, have that big, hairy, audacious goal, as they talk about it, okay, that BHAG, and see, okay, how do we divide that into smaller steps? How do we divide that into what we call milestones of, all right, so we go from here to there, or like on a journey, when you go from here to Durban, here being Joburg to Durban, you go, oh, yay, we got to Heidelberg. Okay, we got to the next part, we get to the next part. And it's almost like, yay, look how far we've got. Okay, so in that, it's also important that sometimes when you set off on a journey and you've only done a quarter of it, and there's 3 quarters in front of you, and you think, oh, okay, it's also important to look back and see how far have I come? Look how much I've changed, as opposed to, oh, but there's so much ahead of me. Like, oh, okay. And we all have those days where you go like, oh, well, that's it. Okay. We're parking the goal. We're just going to sit here and sulk. Or we're just going to sit here and feel like helpless or hopeless because we're never going to get there. But we are going to persist. And remember, 1 degree each day makes a massive difference. So don't give up. Don't feel like, oh, divide that big goal into little steps. Also, what's important, work with a coach because it helps to be able to celebrate each little milestone, each step, and go, yay. It also reinforces the new behavior. Because remember, we change behavior. We come up with new habits. We come up with different ways, the discipline of doing something. And, sometimes you think, ah, don't want to do this. But it's about where do we find the discipline of saying, no, even if I don't want to do it, I'm going to do it. So please remember that you're loved, you matter, you're not alone. Please don't give up on your look how far I still have to go. Please look back and see how far you've come. And be proud of yourself and celebrate and say, yay, look how far I've come. Please also like and share and click the little bell to get your reminders. And thanks so much for watching. And I'm Colleen Fist.